Alright guys, this is Tim, the Berlin Trader. I'm back again for another crypto chart technical analysis update on August 26, 2017. So I'm coming to you from Berlin at 6 p.m. and let's take a look at these charts. Let's start off with Bitcoin US dollar on Coinbase. So we had that huge run-up breakout of 2,800 back in August. You can see that broke out nicely here. It tested that level around 3,000 several times. 1, 2, 3, and then finally broke out. Went about 50% up to almost 4,500, where it's found some resistance. It's consolidating around there as we see now, and if it follows a similar pattern like 3,000, then we'll probably bounce up against 4,500 a couple times before we break out. We've already tested that level once back on the 17th and yesterday on the 25th, and we could break out sooner than that if these moving averages keep pushing up against those prices. Then it could break out of that level. So just keeping an eye on Bitcoin. On the right side we have the 60-minute chart. It's kind of where I time my entries. On the daily chart, kind of see the overall trend. On the 60-minute chart, I time my entries, and we can see it's just basically sitting in this range back and forth, nothing really happening here. As for RSI, on the daily chart, it's overbought, which is actually a good sign. It means that the momentum is strong and it's probably going to stay up here. It's not going to pull back and fall down and crash. Same thing on the hourly chart. We're hitting overbought levels, which means there is momentum. It's just we don't have enough momentum yet to break out of 4,500. If we break out of 4,500, then I could definitely see using the fib retracement on that pullback going up to around 5,000. What do you know? The 168 retracement, 161.8 retracement, Fibonacci retracement of that decline from July to August is, that decline from August 17th to August, 22nd is exactly around 5,000. So that's levels lining up. So that's going to be our target. Once it breaks out of 4,500, our target is 5,000. So we're watching for that breakout of 4,500. If we look at Bitcoin Cash, US dollar, Tether on Bittrex. Now these Bitcoin Cash tickers kind of vary a bit depending on the exchange you're on. The volumes are higher on some. It's BCH on Bitfinex, it's BCC on Bittrex, which I use. And we had that huge spike on the second day of trading after everyone got their free coins. Fell back down to 200, and then we broke out again. Had an amazing run, amazing crush, amazing shred all the way to 700, and now we're consolidating under that. We can draw a nice triangle there, and it's consolidating nicely right there around 600, 650, and I'm expecting another breakout at some point to the upside. Not sure when that's going to happen. We can look at the 60-minute chart to time our entry. We see that triangle forming. Big triangle, and inside we have the smaller triangle. So there's a pattern there, and it's tightening up and it's coiling, and when that's coiling like a spring, we're waiting for that release, the release of all that energy. It could go down, it could break out to the upside. We don't know which way it's going to go. It literally could go either way depending on the news and whatever happens. So we're keeping an eye on that as well. Bitcoin Cash. Next big player, Ethereum, ETH. The US dollar. I'm in this one. Been in it for a while now, since about 220 when it broke out. First it broke out of that downtrend line with the red line on the daily chart, and then it broke out of this level there. I'm going to take away the Ichimoku cloud because make price a little more clear there. So yeah, it broke out of that consolidation on the way up. Paused for some more consolidation, made a nice flag here, broke out again a few days ago, and here we are. Still moving up, slow and steady wins the race, consolidating a bit right now. And yeah, I'm just looking for another breakout, probably around 400. You know, if you're not in this already, it's probably not the best entry location. If you do get in, then you want to set your stop tight below this consolidation range, maybe at around 315, 300 at the most. And we just see that trend line you know, holding and moving up, consolidating, moving up and consolidating. And then on the right side, my 60-minute chart, you can see the same pattern, just a little more detailed. Moving up, consolidating, moving up, consolidating, following that trend line up. And we are hitting overbought conditions on the RSI, which is a strong sign. It does not mean it's going to pull back and crash. It means that we have momentum to keep moving forward. When there's a pullback, it's a time to buy, not a time to sell. So let's keep moving to see some other coins. Let's check out Litecoin. Yeah, I was in that for that run a few days ago. That was really nice. We see that trend line. Let me unmagnet that. Okay. We see that trend line coming up, holding that trend line. Boom, boom, support, 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 support. It is holding fast. It is holding strong. And we see an upper trend line there. And it's within that range, so I don't see any reason why it won't just continue going up in that range. You know, we've seen a breakout and then a pullback, breakout, pullback, breakout, pullback, breakout, pullback, breakout, but all the while going higher. We just crossed that 50 mark, which is a pretty big milestone. Actually, that was what caused the latest round of the latest breakout. That was really serving as a nice resistance here, that 50 level, and we've broken out in that 50. Actually, right now we're consolidating above that 50 level, which is a pretty good sign. Actually, might be a good entry point if you are playing the daily chart for a move maybe back up to 56, which would be 12%, or maybe higher. If we take the Fibonacci retracement, maybe we'll take it from the last pullback here, and we see that we hit the first target, 161.1, right on the nose, around 55, and the next target's the 200% level, which is not really fib level, but it's a measured move from that pullback around 58 to 60. So, and the next fib target would be around 63, 62. So, you know, it looks pretty good, consolidating above that 50 level, and might be a good entry. Here on the hourly chart, we see that consolidation a bit better above the 50 level. We can zoom in, and you know, right here we see that consolidation happening, and the more it consolidates, the better the chances that the more it holds that 50 level, the better the chances that we break out to back up to 55 and to 60. Okay, so we'll move on to Ripple. Yeah, Ripple coin had another big breakout. I was in that as well. I got in back here at around 15 cents and rode it up to 24 cents. So a nice 50%, what is that? Yeah, 66% gain in a couple days. Not bad at all. And we pushed up into this congestion area, you know, that resistance area where we had all this movement before and couldn't really break out, which was totally predictable. And yeah, right now we're just kind of hovering under that 24 level, pullbacks from that big run, and nothing really happening at the moment. I wouldn't get in that mess if you put a gun to my head. It's just, as you can see on the 60-minute chart, it's just all over the place. It's up, it's down, it's like, it looks like the Alps over here. It just looks like a storm. You know, there's no order to these patterns whatsoever. Moving averages are cutting through the price, moving out, and volume doesn't look so heavy. Just something to watch, see how it develops. You know, we had a run. We need some digestion. Let's check out Neo. Sometimes it's a fun one to play. But you know, in general, Neo, again, it had that nice run at the beginning of August. There's this nice pullback here, another nice consolidation here on the 11th of August, and then it ran up all the way to like 55. I mean, an insane run. And after that insane run, I mean, it's just not going anywhere right now. It's just consolidating and digesting those gains. And we might get a pattern. Again, I think it's probably biased to the upside. You know, after such a big run, probably is going to run again up to 55, those old highs again, but not sure when. It might take a few days or weeks. And on the hourly chart on the right, again, you can see that consolidation in play, but really just bouncing around. You know, you can't really play those moves. There was a little move here you could have played. You see how there's really a solid resistance level, and when we see that breaking out, that's when we can really get in. We need to look for those defined levels. It's all about defined levels. If we check out, let's check out Dash. Did we check out Dash already? Let's check out Dash to the US dollar. That just happened today. We had a nice run in Dash. And that's really interesting because I'm going to do it on Polonius. They have more history. So we saw that breakout around 200. And since then, oh my gosh, it's just gone straight up to 360. I mean, we've almost 100% move. Pretty incredible. Unfortunately, I wasn't in on this one. I was just looking away in the beginning, and then I missed it today because I was looking away again. Pretty solid patterns though. You could get in right there, you could get in right here on those breakouts, and you see the moving averages pushing up on those prices. And if we go over to the 60-minute, again, you see those breakouts more clearly. You could have easily got in on one of these breakouts. It was pretty clear the price was going to shoot up, and right now it's pretty extended. If we look at a fib level to make our target, we can take the pullback here from 7th July to the 16th of July, and look at that. We kind of hit each target, pausing for a moment, and now we've hit that 261.8 retracement. That's pretty strong. You know, that's a pretty high target. And, you know, usually we have one pullback, two pullbacks, and the third run is, you know, kind of risky. You don't want to get in at those extended highs. So I'm going to wait for a pullback and see what develops there. Patience is key. Wait for those big breakouts. Monero, that one I got in on that last night. That was pretty sweet. Another crushed that one. It was pretty obvious. Again, you had this consolidation underneath this pretty strict resistance level. Pretty obvious that we had 1, 2, 3 hits on that level, and finally we went through, and we had some nice entry points on the way up too. We had that pullback there, could have got in there, could have gotten it on this little one here. You know, all those little places where it pauses and consolidates and those moving averages keep coming up. I mean, if you look at this, look at that. They just, moving averages keep coming up. It never broke that 9 EMA, that dark blue line that I used. Never broke it once. Pretty strong trend there. Could have ridden that all the way up. Could have ridden that all the way up. If we look at, let's take a look at something related to Bitcoin. Next time I'll go in order. I just haven't done this. This is my first video in a while. Yeah. Zcash to the dollar. Man, that is something. I saw that yesterday. Man, I'm kind of pissed off I didn't get into that. Just hitting that trend line. Boom, boom, boom. Bouncing up against it. You know it's going to go at some point. And it did. Went today. I missed it. I was buying some food. But look on the 60-minute chart. You see that breakout level. Boom. Broke through that level and pow, right through. When you break out of these levels, man, there is an explosion in crypto. I tell you what, it's amazing because you can basically be sure that if it breaks through these levels, people pile in and you can make some serious cash. So that's it for today. You know, I'm going to keep trying to do more coins, seeing how they're related. It's pretty slow at the moment. There are some breakouts in Monero and Dashcoin and Litecoin. There's some breakouts in Dashcoin and Monero that are pretty extended. They're still going, but they're pretty extended. I wouldn't recommend entering. We have the big mama Bitcoin kind of just sitting around, consolidating. That's going to take a long time to develop. We have Ethereum in its trend, going up to those old highs, pretty strong, but again, not the best entry point because the move has already been made. If there's one thing that I'm watching today, it was that, was it that Litecoin? It was that Litecoin. Check it out. We broke out above 50 and we've been consolidating a few days there. And if we can hold that level, then I think we might be good for another run. So going to keep an eye on that Litecoin and other for a breakout soon. Other stuff just kind of looks calm, and you know, maybe everyone's watching the fight on Sunday. No one wants to take a bet. Oh, one more thing is the Bitcoin Cash. You know, we have that consolidation, that triangle pattern also looks ready to explode, but it could go down or up. There's no telling what could happen. So Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash, keep an eye on those. All right, guys, thanks a lot. you know, send me a donation with Litecoin or Bitcoin or whatever you can. I got the links under the video. It really helps out. It gives me, you know, inspiration to do all this. I love helping out. I love answering questions. Send me a message. Send me a PM wherever you find me. Join me on Telegram. Follow my feed. And I'm going to be back hopefully every day to take a look at what's developing. Peace.